ภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิchanting and then I said to a congregation today we're going to have the monk chat so the monk chat on Friday today I have ท่านพระอาจารย์สุจันทร์ from Scotland and then Venerable ท่านหลวงปู่ปัญญาวชิโร on my left hand yeah so I would like to invite our guest speaker in Monk Chat to talk over talk about the arms which we are going to be tomorrow for arms so the arms will be Bindabat is a part of the Buddhist monks, part of our life. And after that, we'll ask why we should do, we're supposed to do, why it's so important in our life as Buddhist monks. Because Buddhist monks, wherever we are, we always rely on the people in society. So we live by offering, we live by Vedana. Since the Buddha time to the present time. You might say, wow, you do it. Why you do it? And it's come to be the nature, it come to be the part of our life. Therefore, today we talk about the arms and also the Buddha teaching, which is refer to arms. So now I would like to invite and also introduce our guest speaker first, and then Luang Pu like to say something before and then we start, and after that we will ask San Suchan to talk about it and or share together, shall we? What do you think?
Well, actually, we don't need to walk for alms in this country because people come to the temple.
Yes.
So why do we walk for alms? There's a very good set of reasons for that. Not least of all, keeping ceremony together, keeping our profile high.
You think
people
like
actually know we're here when we go walking for alms.
You think we are walking for alms, and is it make what is different between go for alms and not go for alms?
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, I do, but I'm not going to say.
Being a temple, Luang Pu, we are in the temple. Not many people see the monk.
I've just said that. Yeah. we need to keep our profile high.
Not
we
the profile
need people
alone.
to know we're
Just
here.
let the people. Yes, you're right.
That's
We
it.
would like to let the people know the monk's life.
Yeah, and
plus to know where this monk come from.
But don't be so selfish. What about the ladies? They revel in it. They love it. They really work hard.
Well, and also let the people have opportunity.
Yeah.
To come to offer.
Yes.
Alms to the monks. You
come.
See, none of them know this going on, going on the project of the duty of the monks. I would like to introduce this. This is the first year that we say, okay, we would like to go for alms on certain day, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I would like to set the first Saturday of the month for alms. Otherwise, unless then we identify and also let the people, public know that we have to cancel that day or move on or postpone, whatever. That is my intention, Luang Pu. Right. So in this question, why we have to go for alms? What alms is so important? Now, Bindabat so important. So I would like to ask Suchan. Okay, Suchan, talk to the people first, and then talk about what we question.
Well, I think going alms is normally people think it's for the food. Actually, it's not for the food. It's about going and communicating with the public and also building the relationship with the people around. They normally have the perception of monks as someone who is living in a monastery, and they feel like they are very high whereas going alms is something like you are going as a normal people and have opportunity to connect with them, and in the meantime give them opportunity to see that this is monk's life. And with that, they also feel like, okay, they are human beings, not a special people.
I love to see them in little groups, all chattering away. They've done their bit. They're running around like well, as fast as you can without saying any other words to describe it. They run around quickly and feed the monks, make sure they've got everything they need. They do all the work and they clean up and they do everything else. But then they sit in their little groups and have chat with each other. A really good social occasion.
The monks and the lay people, we always connected anyhow. Yeah.
Yes.
Since the Buddha time, the Buddha have the two groups of the people. Buddha disciples is the monks, and also the lay monks and lay man and lay female. So male and female part of the Buddhist society since the Buddha time to the present time.
Oh, I don't think
Yeah.
people know that.
It's not only monks.
Oh, I don't think people really know that they're part of the Sangha.
There are, because not Sangha is as such, no Bo.
Yeah,
Sangha is mean the group of the people, they got Sangha, but the monk Sangha is different. The monk is the monk of the Sangha and the lay group of the people. Another word is the company. Company, we call the Buddha, they use the word, the four people are the responsibility for Buddhism after Buddha passed away, of Nibbana. So, Bhikkhu is the monks, yeah, male monks, yeah, Bhikkhuni, female monk, and then Upasaka is the layman, and then Upasika, lay female. So lay male, laymen, and lay women is quite important for the community of the monks can move forward. So at the Buddha time, Buddha always get a lay person to support the monks. How can we live without lay person?
Because, no, come on. The Buddha made quite sure that the
Yes.
monks were reliant on the people.
Yes.
So they wouldn't get too much of a big head for a start.
Yeah.
Made the monks reliant on the people. It made them connect with the people.
Yes,
All the time.
Tan Suchan said connect with the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
What
did.
what happens if somebody who are asked say something? Why you not working? Why the monk stay in the monastery? Why you not go out to work?
What?
Oh yes, people the English
Well, never
person.
stop.
No, I mean
What? Cheek of the devil. No
Yeah.
way.
not the English people say that.
They really don't understand the life of a monk, do they?
Can you explain to them this question, Tan Suchan?
Well, in that case, there are people thinking that you are still young, and
Yes.
capable of doing, and why people have to come and give you food,
That is-
living
that-
in
that-
a monastery, that sort of things. But in a one angle, it seems like that the monks are not doing anything.
Yeah.
But in another angle, if they know that how much monks are busy working social work, and how much they're contributing for the community and the people, then they will realize that monks' life is pretty hard, and they are working not for their money but for the welfare and happiness of the people, and they are living a simple, humble, and this monastic life, so that it is as like an example for people to follow, that okay, we don't need much, but we can be happy with sufficiently having something to have a roof over us, a roof, and having place to stay and some food to eat. And if you look at the monk's life, we can see that how much work they are doing for the community. And sometimes there are like embassies. They do for the community of theirs, but whereas the monks, they are doing, but they are not paid for it. But the amount of the work they do is far beyond than the embassies does. So like that. So when they come across and then associate with the monks, and they realize that actually monks' life is hard, and much of things that they are doing is pretty more than they expect.
Right. Okay, หลวงปู่ you are a person who know about Buddhism in the beginning. Between when you are a lay person and now you are a monk. Now you're going to be promoted to be พระครู soon, hopefully.
Oh, if I'm still alive. Yeah.
Right.
Well, we must
Right.
get that one in.
Right.
We really must get that one in.
Right. Anyhow, so หลวงปู่ tell me how much work that you contribute to the Sangha, to the community, to the monks, since last 3 years. Forget about when you were lay, but now you are monks. So show me if you work like you are now, you can see between get pay or not pay. So then now you're not pay, and then how much you can see if you pay for this work as a lay. You can see how much it will, you earn so much.
I think when you are paid, you're stressed, but we are not paid, so we are free, and then we feel more free to work. I can see that.
How you seem very happy.
Yeah, what? If it weren't for the Buddha, I certainly wouldn't be here working for nothing. That's
Right.
for I'm 100% sure. You see, that the fact is that a monk lives. It is a simple life, Sujan. You said it correctly, and if you look carefully, you'll see it's also a happy life.
Yeah.
Monks
Happy
are
life.
generally happier than everyone else, generally, because they're not craving for things all the time. Oh, they've got new, what they call these things, mobile phones.
No,
yeah, you want to use one.
Let me stop
It's on
you
fire.
here. Let's stop you here.
Oh,
You
go
said
on.
you are happy because someone look after you. You see,
No, that's not right.
Yeah, they think because okay, the temple be fed or somebody fed you. That's why your life so happy. It's not like that.
That's only.
You
No.
see, that is a
There's a
question
fa-
from the people who like to know and also
What?
criticize the monks. Okay, your life is easy life, and then you said if your life is easy life, as the people say, or life that you are the happy person, then San Chushan say, wow, very good, I'll be happy because you have so much responsibility and also even not pay, that you are working very happily. How you describe happiness that you are working without paying?
Oh, you've got to go back into psychology, haven't you? There's a fellow called Maslow and his hierarchy of needs. The fact is that only when your basic needs are met, clothing, heating, roof over your head, and minimal amounts of food, only when your basic needs are met can you do the other things. So what are the other things that monks do? The other monks minister to the people. They spread the Buddha's word, all that chanting and the like. It's repeating the Buddha's words over and over again for a good reason, not so they're not lost. It's all right them being written down in the Pali Canon, Tipitaka or whatever you want to call it. The fact is that by repeating them time after time after
Right.
time, day and night, 7 days a week, you're keeping the Buddha's teachings alive.
Yes.
So
The monks keeping Buddha teaching or the Dhamma
the
alive.
Dhamma is alive.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's alive.
it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. It happens daily. The monks' needs, there's a big difference between wants and needs.
Right.
The monks' needs are met by the people. The Buddha ensured that by making the monks reliant on the people.
Right.
He definitely
We-
did
we-
that. I can't pick up where he
Relies
did it, but
on
reliant
the-
on the people. So when we say there's a Sangha and that's just the monks, I think I'm going to argue with that.
No, it's not just the monk because the Sangha community of the monks together.
Together with the lay people.
You see, the Sangha is a group, but we have the lay Sangha and the monk Sangha. So the lay group of the people. But we are use the words. I know that some of the lay group they would like to be in the part of the Sangha, but only some area because at the temple, for example, when we gathering together, we have the lay person, we have the monks. All of this is community. The word community, like a Sangha, is quite something for everybody in our community. But the word Sangha is Sukha Sankasa Samaki. The happiness of the unity is the unity of the Sangha bring happiness to the people.
Yes.
True?
Yes.
Okay.
But yes. There are two separate bits here.
Mm-hmm.
The monk Sangha looks after the religious and spiritual needs of the people,
Right.
helps them understand religious life better, helps them to see where happiness lies.
Okay.
Whereas the people, the lay as you call them, they have to. What are you doing with that thing?
Okay. Well, to try to let the people know that we are having the difficult problem with my Levi. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Maybe the pond.
Oh, it be so. Okay. Okay, don't worry, no problem. We are.
Well, I still
I
think.
agree with your at the beginning that the lay and the monks are connected. Is no doubt. ท่านสุชน at the beginning of the Buddha time, the Buddha talk about why we have to give, why we have to offer, why the offering so important or giving so important in Buddhism. Because dana, yeah, sila, and sakha and panya, yeah. So really, it's something that we might like to know what is going on in Buddhism to bring the people come together. Why generosity is so important? ท่านสุชน can you? I know we got somebody and Suchada. We have คุณ Nelly นะคุณ อ้วน Odisha watching the program. So I would like you to say something about that.
There is in terms of a psychology
Right.
about the giving.
Right.
As a normal people, when people go to work, they are paid in some amount. Once they are paid, and there is a perception of this belongs to me, and then hold on to that, and with that, gradually develops the greed and as well as the attachment. When this greed and attachment develops, and that causes the conflict, and then very difficult to let go. And with that letting go causes further other emotional conflicts, and also development of ego and a personality view. And this is kind of I will be the person who is living forever, and I need everything that I wanted to have. So that's in terms of that way. And with that, Buddha's teachings is basically based on get rid of a desire. And a basic level of letting go that one has to learn is to give from small things. And psychologically, the more they give, gradually they develop this habit patterns of letting go from material things. And obviously, because they have worked so hard to gain some amount of money or some wealth or some possessions, it's not easy to give to anybody. Yeah?
It's not easy to give
No,
to
no, I
anyone.
don't.
To anybody.
No, that's
Yes.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's
yes,
why
very good point.
So that's why normally we give to someone that we like, to give someone that we respect. That's why, like for parents, we are happy to give. Or children, we are happy to give. And in the meantime, someone that we really respect, it's very easy to give to them. And with that, like for the Buddhists, it's been established as monks, as someone who is highly respected. And with that, they are trained, or there is a culture of giving to them, and gaining the merit as some form of rewards. Whereas as they are practicing generously in this way and regularly, and that what happens eventually is that people, those who are giving regularly to the monks, even this maybe once a month or once a week, just for a few rice, what happens, their mind is much softer than compared to someone who never give it.
Right.
And with that, gradually what happens that eventually they are able to say it's okay, if they cannot have it. Like something happens, or breakdown in a marriage, then they even happy to, okay, let go of that property, I can move on. Kind of that letting go of that material things will be able to, we say, let go. And that actually enforces the emotional letting go, which is like a grudging and having a desired attachment and not able to let go. So that there, eventually, emotionally able to let go, that begins. So that's why in a Buddhist tradition, when we look at the Buddha's intention to let the monks go and ask for the food, whereas again very different compared to other religious group at that time, they have to ask for the food or give me a food, whereas Buddha didn't allow monks to say give me a food. They are simply walking, so allowing people to open their mind and learn to give, so that psychologically they're learning to share, learning to give. And with that sharing, the more they give, the better they become, that okay, I learned to share. And then with that sharing, they're able to let go of material things, and eventually they also, if they have studied a little bit further on, then able to let go of the emotional attachment and feelings that they are having with either it's a material things, either it's with the a relationship, or either with any possessions or any concepts of maybe, let's say, ethnicity, nationality, or religion, and so on. They will be able to let go, and with that they will become more open and ability to accept and respect to anybody. And that's how we will be arriving at the stage that okay, we are all same. We just need to let go. We cannot take anything with us. All what we have accumulated, eventually we have to leave aside. And that's the first ladder towards the spiritual practice. And this is my understanding, the concept of giving.
Right. Well, thank you, Tan Suchan. It's very clear, very good. Yeah. And Luang Pu, from what you learned from Tan Suchan, and this is the art of giving, the art of offering, the art of dana. Dana is a part, very important part that you learn how to sacrifice yourself and also have from your heart, because it's not just you have to do it. If you consider seriously about when you see somebody, charity in your heart, you may say, well, charity starts at home, yeah. But in you go further than that, really to be able to get something from the people or give away something to the people, you have to learn how to see charity in this country. So many charity, and then the English charity, I mean the charity as such in our society, everywhere we learn to be able to help the other person, helping the people, not start of the giving itself, but after that we more and more in Buddhism, because Tan Suchan explained clearly, this is you have to from the beginning of the ladder of going to be overcome as a selfish, overcome anything that to do with, have to be from your heart. And there are many people in this country, maybe they're doing something without knowing what they are doing is genuine and very kind, very happy. So you are happy now because generosity that you have in your heart. How you feel?
Actually, we're talking about a transferable skill. I mean, you can learn to ride a bicycle, but that doesn't teach you how to learn how to drive a car. That's not transferable. But when you're practicing something which gives good feelings to yourself and to others, that is transferable. Because once you see that what you do makes you better and someone else better, you're more likely to do it again in a completely different fashion. It can be a completely, utterly different. You start off by giving a little and often, or just often. You know, it doesn't have to be great sums of money or big piles of food or whatever. It's just the act of giving. The Buddha was often given small things, grain of rice, I remember. Yeah, and he was just as grateful for that. In fact, as hadn't eaten for goodness knows how long, more grateful for that than a big feast. Yeah, so it's not how much you give. It's, as you just said, it's with the heart, the emotional side. I want to do this. It makes me feel good. It makes the person on the receiving end feel good. So everyone feels that bit better. It's a step
Right.
towards happiness.
For the ultimate goal of in giving in Buddhism, we have to think that it is to overcome our stinginess, overcome
Oh,
our
yeah.
attachment, overcome our greed, or overcome our ego. Whereas the charities that I see in the UK, which is doing very good, but
Well,
people
different.
giving things that they don't need it. So it's like the dumping place. That's not giving according to the Buddhist principles.
No,
According
no,
to
it's
the
not.
Buddhist principles, is you're giving something that's a valuable,
Valuable
and
to you.
valuable to you.
To
Yes,
and
that's
that,
right,
yes.
yes.
So
Yeah.
that
Well,
you are
that is
giving.
quite important.
Yeah.
You see now,
And with that, with that, those who are giving to the charities, they are not reducing their stinginess. They are not reducing their ego. They're actually making more ego that I have given this much. I am
that's
so
quite
great.
good
I
one.
am so happy.
That-
And this is make others happy too. Actually, they're making more egoistic view on that.
Well,
Whereas the person,
No. I see your point now. So someone is unwanted item, but that second-hand thing that you said, okay, better I give to charity.
Yeah,
You don't give anything that very good.
Don't push charity down too far, because
no.
without the charity,
No,
even
no.
if it's given with a very
Yes.
bad heart,
Yes.
without the charity,
That is very good.
many millions of people would not be in the position that they
I
are now.
I like to say the point, Luang Pu, here. This good thing that we have opportunity to do something for good for the people. We can good cases.
Yeah.
Good anything that good cause of what we are doing. For example, if we like to help the people, when we know that people need help, so therefore we have to help. If someone say, please bring your second-hand glasses for the country who have no glasses, for example, can you bring it? Of course, you can so have so many in your house, your hand, and after that you unuse it, and many things unused, and you like to get rid of all. Yes, it's point. Sometimes you have so much that you need to share, you have to give away, and that is good point to look. Maybe what I have now can be more useful for the other person, extra person. That is the first. Second, therefore many charities throughout the world need help, so we help them. That is quite different from what Mr. Chan to say between being Buddhist monk and in Buddhism say the Esa Bhagavato Avnayo Bhavna Bhakanayo Anjali Kalaniyo Anuttarang Punyaketang Lukasa. The Buddhist monks and also Buddhism who practice well in our society. And after that, what happened? You are a right place for those who like to make a merit or do something generosity to the person who well practice, and then they get some more inner feeling. And after that, go any further. What you expect to do? If you like to go further from your life, not giving, how can you be happy?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. Yeah. What
You
about
know, if you don't know, if you don't know about the Buddha's teachings,
right?
if you don't know that by giving you are not clinging so much, not craving so much, you don't know that. If you don't know that craving and clinging makes you unhappy, dukkha,
Yes.
if you don't know that, then, and you're giving anyway, it's done with a good heart. It might be something you never want to use again, you'll never see again in your life, but you're giving with a good heart anyway.
Yes.
But if you don't know about the Buddha's teachings, how can you actually know what is happening to you, what the processes are? So you have to learn about the Buddha's teachings in order to understand that by giving a little, you're not craving quite so much, not desiring so much. And then that's one of the reasons the monks are happier, because they let go. I had a conversation with a monk in the car the other day.
What?
You know?
Tathamano piyang hoti.
What?
It means
coming out
for
with this?
those who are giving, bring happiness to them. That's the first thing. Second, even better, how can you identify between giving in society nowadays and the last decade or the period of the Buddha, like Santara, for example, he give away with something it belong to him, and he think like a give away for the children. You might find give away with even in nowadays in society they give someone blind and then said if you have someone blind and then if somebody pass away they can give your eye, donate the eye to someone who survive, and then can be even offer your blood. So that is part of the people very happy to do something for the good cause of the people. That is good in apart from Buddhism. However, Buddhism recognize a good giving as a part of our nature. You should be able to start to see why I have to give, why shall learn to be giving, how to be dana. Like the first one in Anupvikatha, yeah, dana is giving, and then sila, practice the Dhamma, and sakha is the heaven, and even the Buddha and the king, we call 10 Dhamma of the kings. Normally the king in the general, wherever the king in the past or the present king or whoever, the first one, Danang, Silang, Parijjakang, Achavang, Matavang, Tapang. So all of these 10 Dhamma to make the king to be a good person in society. Not a king in this moment, but the king before the Buddha time or the Buddha time king. So the dana is part of our life. The same as the sila, the same as the wisdom. And whatever you are in your society, you should be able to be able to see what is the best thing for them to do. This is my understanding. Now, ท่านสุชน and ท่านหลวงปู่บ๊อบ can you tell me how can a person who have nothing to give and get something? They might say, okay, you like sponsor so and so and so, and said, how can I do it? Because I don't have the money. Their mind may be against or the disagree what giving. If I'm not rich enough, how can I give away thing? Because it's more or less like that mind, that mind, greedy mind, selfish mind. Yeah. So how far you can allow yourself to be the dana or the donor or helper?
No one expects people to turn up in the monastery and give, and that's the only thing.
Right.
People can turn up to the monastery without ever giving other than of themselves, that little bit. People come and do a bit of gardening, people come and do a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's every bit as good as giving whatever costs money. This costs your time, your energy, your good feelings. I mean, there's a lady today sweeping up some leaves and messy stuff, and I teased her about it. But the reality is that lady is contributing to the temple. It doesn't matter how big or small. It doesn't matter that it's not pound notes or food. She's still contributing to the temple, doing bits and pieces, sending your husband to do something we can't do, the poor man. But you see, it's all the same, really. It's all giving. It's all relieving yourself of the things that you would normally catch hold of. There's two sides to a person.
Right.
Emotional life. There's the good side and the bad side. The bad side, we said something about this today. I'm sorry about that, but we did. But the bad side is a side that made us survive over the whole of our evolutionary life. Being greedy and selfish and whatever was very useful at one time. Mm-hmm. You couldn't live without it. Whatever, you couldn't live without it. It was dog eat dog, completely and for real, not just being so selfish you're still doing the same things, but it was necessary. But there's another side to humanity, and that's the kind side. That's the side where you look after each other in the family. You look after each other in the small tribe. I'll get you a new one of those.
Well, what
the reality is, though, there are two sides to us all. And what we try and do as monks, we try and teach the people to control the bad side, as it were, the greed and the hatred and all the rest of those things. Try and control them, lessen them, not get rid of them altogether, because that's jolly near impossible for most people, but to bring them down so that they're less unkind, less greedy, less selfish, less jealous, less of everything there. Whereas the other side, the kind side, being considerate, compassionate, is increasing. It's only a bit, but it's increasing. So we try and teach them to control the bad side, the side we don't need so much of these days. We don't need to go and hide food in a pot under the ground or whatever, because we know we're not going to get any more. So we're being selfish. And the guy who knows you've hidden this is very jealous and tries to kill you for it. But you know, it's not like that anymore.
No.
But those emotions are still there, and they're very strong. Now, the biggest and strongest is fear. Fear of losing things. Fear of not being able to get them back. Fear of losing your job. Fear of losing your home. Fear of losing anything.
That is
Yes, fear. It lasts forever. Fear can be a lifetime thing.
right.
It really
Another fear is mean you're not secure. You are not secure in society. You are in your life, in your job. That feeling is not confident about yourself, including whatever you keep away, those things, and then you feel, oh, if I haven't got it left for myself. So really, giving in society is not only giving material. You give your time, you give your the opportunity, your knowledge, skill, whatever, including sapathanang, dhammathanang, chinati. It means you give the Dhamma to the people, give advice to the people. And then the people will be very appreciate, and also this is the value that the gift that you give to the people. So Tan Chuchan, can you add on this giving to help the people to understand more how they can understand and accept this kind of giving or generosity or dana, and to overcome the selfish, which is happening in Buddha time. Somebody have this kind of the stingy, like a very, very selfish person, and then not really want to give anything to anybody else, including give to the monks. So how can you explain or introduce the art of giving to bring the person to be happy? I think taking as a giving is bring happiness than taking. But now we also have learn to take, learn to give, and giving, taking should work together like a sharing. With society nowadays, we would like to the people consider about the other people too, not only temple, but society. So can you add on this? How can you teach or introduce the best way or the art of giving to the people? Because most of the temple, we have this kind of the project for the people to support you, and then support that. And throughout our community, throughout the Buddhist Sangha, Buddhist community, always talk about giving dana and how you can make the people feel comfortable, feel at ease, feel very good about giving.
The vast majority of ladies do feel good, don't they? They wouldn't do it otherwise, would they?
No.
Well, they want to be part of it. So
Yeah.
And also we have to remember that the Buddha said that never look down how small that giving is. Always praise, it doesn't matter how small that is. And that saying that it's not about just the material things, it's about anything that you spend. Like if just a small smile to somebody, that's also giving. But you have to check your intention, that what is the intention behind that you are doing that. And that intention defines the results, that what it is. Now, in the same time, because of that, based on that intention, people give in two different ways. One, to gain the material gains, and then they have a fear of losing those material things that they have possessed or they have acquired. And at the same time, other people, those who have understood the quality of a giving, they will give to sake of get rid of their desire and ego. So that's what we have to understand. And further on, there was a conversation between the Buddha and Venerable Sariputra about the results that normally people will receive, why the recipient, the result of a giving is different. And Buddha simply said that it is because their intention is different. You give small and you wish more, then you can't get it. And there is a giving simply to be like I want to be famous, so I give. And then the result is short-lasted. And people will feel like, oh, he or she is giving simply to gain the fame. So people do not want to associate people like that. Whereas somebody who will just have nothing to give, but will come and even just sweeping leaves around, not necessarily in a temple, even along the street. And that is also a giving too, and that even if he or she is doing with a good intention, that has a tremendous effect on it. So that's also we have to look at on in this perspective as well. And when we check our intention of giving in these ways, then what happens is that we become the a boss of a giving rather than a slave of a giving. When somebody is giving with some intention of that, it should be done this and this and that, and then if you do not do it, what happens? You're suffering. You unhappy. Emotionally, you become very unhappy. There is a case a few years ago when one lady offered 100,000 bahts to one of the monks. And then one of the monks, he received that 100,000 bahts and left it. And after a few months later, this lady comes back and then asks, Lompo, what have you done with the money that I have given? Do you know what happened? Oh, you didn't give properly, so take money back. So Lompo gave money back to her.
Yes.
So that's how it works, because intention is very important.
That is good point. Yes.
Well, giving with the heart, that's the same thing, really.
Yeah, and so that's what, and at the same time, when we do something for money, we always feel stressful, whereas we do not do with the money, but with a heart of helping, with a heart of caring and serving. Then what happens that there is no expectations and no boundaries, and you're doing with the full intention for wishing that person to be happy, wishing that person to be free from the suffering.
Yes.
And with that, what happens that as a monk, this is we do normally, and as a result of that contribution that we do, we never feel that we are pressurized. We never feel that we are
have to do like that. But it's just simply this is a way of a life, and I am happy, and this is how I do. And in the meantime, there is one thing we have to remember as a monk, that Buddha also specified this, that lay people, they have given to you, so you better study, practice, and serve the community as well. Right.
Bang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, Nobu?
Well, that's really right. I mean, it's a bit like sweeping the leaves up for the lay lady is a bit like sweeping the leaves up out of a person's mind.
Right.
By the monk. Mm-hmm. It's anything that helps a person to feel better, to be a little happier, even a little healthier.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a good mind and a good outlook on life, there's no doubt you're healthier, no doubt at all. So I think they're very, very well linked, and that monks do that in much the same way as that lady today. I mean, I can't. I tease the ladies. Sometimes I think they're mad, and I tell them. I do tell them.
And also, as we know in Buddhism, there are 3 principles to practice to get the liberation. That's the starting point, as Ajahn Chakun already mentioned at the beginning, the giving and practice of a sila, a precept, and then the samadhi, the meditation. Now, normally people think of the samadhi and do not think much about the sila and the giving. Actually, these are very connected.
Yes.
One without another will not be complete. And especially this giving is so important. Otherwise, we cannot meditate. We have to give time. Now, starting from that, we have to give time. And because we are so much engaged with the running out and running along the clock, and we are counting each minute with the money, and that much I'm losing. That's why whenever something happens and no electricity, they count with this much of billions of pounds been lost, like that. So that same happened to us too.
Yeah.
So that's why they are counting of each seconds and a minute in this way. You cannot meditate. You cannot free. You cannot let go. Your mind is occupied with that one. And with that, what happens? You cannot follow the principles, the silas, because you haven't given up even a small, tiny bit of a things.
Yeah.
There is a desire, I want, this is me, this is mine, this is mine. And with that, what happens? You cannot develop your meditation. And without development, so how can you get the real peace?
Yes, true. That is the people may feel, oh, waste of my time.
Oh dear.
That's the same, waste of my time. Waste of my time is a part of the people expectation in return. Yeah. And secondly, you should be able to give up. What you will give up? Not give up your time. Give up the desire to be able to offer yourself to be a real practitioner of the Dhamma. The dana is a part of giving, part of yourself to be able to prepare yourself to be a good person in this life. Not just only in Buddhism. Most of religion, they have generosity involved. Second, morality.
It's different.
Pardon?
It's different.
Indifferent. But giving is part of that too. But
I know, but only after you learn to fear the Lord.
Oh.
And the consequences of
that's
breaking
another.
I'm sorry, but we have a real good argument here.
That's very different, because that giving is something to praise somebody, but whereas here, giving is to reduce your ego, your identity.
Opposite, isn't it?
That's very different.
Giving is the beginning of taking control of your base instincts, your defilements.
Defilement, sin,
Yeah.
sin.
Yes.
You see,
Also-
It's the beginning of it. It's the beginning of taking
beginning
control.
of that liberation.
Yeah,
And
and
also, when we look at the Four Noble Truths, the third one, which is the cessation, and when we look at the cessation part, the Buddha clearly said that Jago Patinisako Mutti Analayo. So it's starting from giving, and not only giving, but you have to. That's why I was just thinking of the English word, give away and give up. What are the difference? It's very easy to give away, but it's a give up. It's very hard.
Very difficult.
Very, very difficult.
Well-
And where this is the concept that the Buddha was talking about, giving up things. And that is quite important. And once we know how to give that away, it's like, completely disconnect, completely detach from anything.
Yeah.
That's called analayo, means not having anything to do with this. And that's also in a practice of anapanasati. The last one is called patinisakho, which means letting it go back to the nature. I have nothing to do with you.
Right. That I like to add on this because of giving up. Okay, that is very good. Let go, as he mentioned. It's very good point, because there was a very, very rich man who would like to have the special sweet. The special sweet, and then he can't. He don't like to buy it, because if you buy it, it costs a lot of money. So he asked his wife, "Can you do some special sweet for me, please? Cook it." "Oh, don't worry," she said. And then when he cook it, that if you cook sweet and make sweet for the people, I don't like them to come and ask. And then she decided to go up to the 7th floor of the house, and then away from the people. And what happened? And then the cooking don't make smell, otherwise people come and ask. And the Buddha look at it, oh, this man is very, 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 very selfish, and also not learn to give anything to anybody. And because of like to be rich man. And then what happened? Send the Mokkhalana to that place, and then appear in a window, and then walk in and out in window, and more or less say, "Why don't you give something to the people?" "Oh, this monk come here, I don't like to give anything." And then he can't bear, because he walk in and out many times. in that area, and he asked his wife, okay, now give a little bit to him, yeah, give a little bit, and then she got this the stone, yeah, or like a not knife, the like a fork when you cook in the pan, yeah, take it out, cut it, yeah, use your pancakes in the cut, but it can't cut because it's the food the wheat is stick together, and he try again and again. Let him give a little bit, yeah, like in the big one, like a look like the pizza, the big one. Only one a little bit, one piece, but it not all them stick together. And one again and again, he can't do it, and he give up. Oh, give on them, give on. And when they give on, then the Buddha, the monk said, "No, we have 500 monks there." 500 monks. He said, "How come it's 500 monks?" So after that, he cook again and again. After that, he give up and decided to offer that feeling of giving or giving up. Then no more desire, and then I, like a back up or give up, and I feel surrender of this kind of the invitation, whatever, to do something good. So if you are really would like to make yourself to be able to continue your life in a good shape of being, you can think about that. Start from ABC of learn how to give. So come to the arm work. So no more
Is the
tomorrow.
time? Oh.
About tomorrow. Tomorrow, alms, yeah, Binabat. Binabat is a part of Buddhist monk, and also it like to introduce to English society nowadays. We would like to invite the people to know why monks go for alms. In Thailand or in Buddhist country, especially in Thailand, what time we wake up? And what time I go? Yeah. Yeah.
About 5.
About 5 or 6 o'clock.
5
Yeah.
o'clock or something.
Yeah, walk, yeah. And the people they give. Yeah. Give to the monk, offer rice and whatever. And each time what they do, thak me, yeah. So Tinang Watame Tanang, Asavakaya Vahang, Nippana Pajo Hoto. With the power of this gift, may this gift help me to overcome desire. May me to be able to reach Nibbana. So that is quite important.
Even in Buddhists, we have to understand that when they give, there are 2 different types of people.
Right.
One, they give to gain the material gains in the following years, or
Right.
following existence, or having a good births, whether coming back to be humans and have a good wealth, or reborn in the heavens.
Right.
And then another giving is they are expecting to give simply to learn to let go. So they are giving towards the spiritual practice. And so there are 2 different ways of giving here we have to understand as well. And then on the basis of that, this giving is like anyway, it doesn't matter which way you're giving, it's always classified as good. Whether you're giving things that you have used to somebody and you have a good or a bad intention, it is still classified as a good.
I'm glad you qualified that, because I am very pleased you qualified that, because the fact is that whatever your intentions, initial intentions of giving are, they can change.
Yeah.
You can become a better person just because you've been giving a little.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're looking for something better doesn't really affect me, because those people are actually getting to be better people anyway.
Yeah.
So I think the
Any-
intention, the pure intention, is to give it up and put it on one side. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Or someone else needs it more than I do. That's more pure. But the fact is that I'm giving this big thing to the monks, so I'm better off later on. Well, I don't care. I think because that person is likely to become a better person anyway.
So that's why Buddhist monks go for alms, simply to give opportunity to learn to give. And so that's basically allowing people to learn to give.
Yeah.
And with that, actually, behavior, gradually behavior will be changing.
Yes.
And that behavior change, eventually that seeps into the consciousness, and that will continue. And eventually, if that continues, it becomes like a wholesome actions, and that wholesome actions, eventually leads to development of letting go.
Yes. Yes. Eventually. So
Well,
the
that's very
actual
good.
act of giving is what counts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the intention makes all the difference.
Definitely.
But the actual act of giving is what counts, because people change.
Yeah.
People develop.
Yeah.
People become more whole themselves.
We seem agree each other in this is a point of giving.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Mm.
Learn from the Buddhist way of life. Let the people have opportunity to see Buddhist monks walk in city, walk in the town, which is non-Buddhist country, and see how much we can get the impact or response from the people seeing Buddhist monks. And I hope by showing this, by doing this, it will be the best way to promote Buddhism, to let people aware of how can Buddhist monks survive in a country which is not Buddhist country. Which the Tansuchon has gone to in Scotland. You went to for alms how many days a week?
I go every 2 days a week.
Yes, and how the people respond to your?
Initially, they didn't know what I was doing, but later
This
on,
fella in orange going
Yeah.
off his head.
and then later on, as I met them, and they will say, "Oh, what a nice bag you
Yes.
have."
Right.
So,
Is it-
but later on, as discussion goes on, and they realize, and then that monks are here to collect the food, and eventually they also invited me to give a talk and introduce what's happening and why you come for this. So able to introduce the two groups already. So that's why nowadays when I go to the Pindapata around the village, people normally aware that okay,
Do they give you a
he's
sum?
here to collect the food.
They give you sometimes? They
Sometimes,
do?
yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
What about your opinion of giving or working for the monks? How you expect this kind of this is culture or the way of life of this monk who follow the Buddha path to be seen by the public in this country? How important to do?
Well, you've got to start somewhere, which is why I said earlier on to raise the profile, make people aware that we're here. You have to start somewhere. The more people that know we're here, the more likely the people are to become better people.
Right.
Simply because they learn things like generosity, like all the things that we teach. Actually, it's rather complicated. I mean, when you talk about dana, giving, generosity, and sila, the morality, I've been asked in the past, how can you be moral people if you haven't got God? People have actually said that to me, and I look at them and I think, just how ignorant can you become?
That is different, Luang Pu.
I
know
know,
that.
but it's all connected, isn't
Right.
it? It's just separate. You can't go, Dana, that's it.
No.
Sila, that's it.
No.
It doesn't work.
I know that.
You can't have meditation without both of those.
No, I agree with you. Therefore, some the Western society, they say, well, they not really want to be part of the dana or generosity, but they like to meditate only. That is something they not they develop themselves to be on the ladder of reality in life. They might jump up to the third one by not really want to be part of generosity. But in fact, after they practice in somehow, and after they understand themselves, that kind of the feeling that they have will be soft and softer, and be part of their life in some way after practice the Buddhism. For example, some group of meditation in somewhere, they not even know about Buddhism. They just meditate. And after that, they know nothing about the philosophy of generosity, whatever, until they practice more and more. And after they practice more and more, the feeling of giving even more. They would like to give, they give up what they have. Yeah, they like to give up all of this because what is the point of carrying all of this stuff in their life so heavy? They like to let go, like to give away. Even someone very, very old, they would like to make journey, so next journey in their life, they would like to give up everything. Material they have lots of things, okay, give away. Why? I don't want to have it anymore. I don't like to cling it anymore. I would like to be free yeah, in my life. Anyhow, that is part of that. Today, I would like to thank both of you, ท่าน Suchan and ท่าน หลวงปู่ Bob, who going to be พระครู in the future soon. And that พระครู to be is part of our work. You work very hard for Buddhism. You give your time, you give your skill, your knowledge, your wisdom to support the temple. And Suchan also give his time to work for Buddhism. Through this their journey together to promote Buddhism together, I would like to thank both of you who've been working for Buddhism very hard along with myself. May you be happy and stay healthy. And thank you very much, our friend. See you tomorrow at London Eye, yeah, at about 9-ish, early before about 9:15. And I'd like to see you. This is the way of life of the Buddhism, of the Buddhist monks. Go for alms to be seen by the public. And this is the first time in 2024, and they're going to be about 6 or 7 times every month until October. So I would like you to know the Buddhist monk walk for alms, and then you can offer food, whatever, and talk to each other. At about 10:30 or just before 11:15, we see you at the Battersea Park. We sit around Battersea Park. We have the pagoda there, and then pagoda, and we will have to chanting at pagoda and having lunch there, like a picnic lunch. See you, and then may you be happy, be free from suffering, be free from hatred, from hurtfulness, from troubles of body and mind. Be able to protect your own happiness. Sadhu, sadhu.